Hey, it's me again. I've got a joke. Stop me if you've heard this one. There's this guy. He's a bricklayer. And he's really good at it. He's a real master of his craft. Because he's precise. Every brick has its place. Anyway, this guy has a daughter, and he's going to teach her to be a bricklayer because, after all a man has is his legacy. So Dad decides to build a barbecue in the backyard. He does the math. He figures out exactly what he needs. And he shows the daughter how to do everything, step by step. And when he finishes, it's a beauty. It's a perfect barbecue, just the way he drew it in the blueprints. Only one problem. There's a brick left over. One single brick. The guy freaks out. He must have done something wrong. He's gonna have to start all over again. So he picks up his sledgehammer to knock the thing to pieces, and suddenly his daughter says, "Daddy, wait, I have an idea." She picks up the orphan brick and she throws it up into the air as high as she can.
Good morning.
Forget the brick. New joke. 3 heroes die, and they all show up at the pearly gates. God's there to decide what their eternal fate shall be, heaven or hell. Our first hero is dressed up like a big owl, and God says to him, "I gifted you the ability to make fantastic inventions. What did you do with this amazing talent?" And Owl Guy says, "I made this really awesome flying ship and lots of cool outfits and weapons so that I could bring peace to the city." God asks, "So how many people did you kill?" Owl Guy seems offended. "0. He says, I didn't take a single life." God frowns. "Sorry, Owl Guy. Your heart's in the right place, but you're just too soft." God snaps his fingers. And the hero goes to hell. Oh, right. The pearly gates await our next hero in line for almighty judgment. Our hero number 2 is confident he can game this out because that's his God-given talent, smarts. Some might even say he was the smartest man in the world. "So what'd you do with that big brain I gave you?" asks God. "Well, as a matter of fact, I saved humanity," says Smarty Pants. "Well, how'd you do that?" asks God. "Well, I dropped a giant alien squid on New York, and everybody was so afraid of it, they stopped being afraid of each other." "Okay," says God. How many people did you kill?" Smarty Pants smiles. 3 million, give or take. But you can't make an omelet without breaking a couple eggs. "Christ," God says. "You're a fucking monster." "Am not," says Smarty Pants. God snaps his fingers. The hero goes to hell. Hey, we're down to the nitty-gritty now. 1 hero left. God cracks his knuckles, ready to administer the final reckoning. Now, hero number 3 is pretty much a god himself. So for the sake of telling them apart, he's blue, and he likes to stroll around with his dick hanging out. He can teleport, he can see into the future, he can blow shit up. He's got actual superpowers. So regular God asks Blue God, "What have you done with these gifts?" And Blue God says, I fell in love with a woman, I walked across the sun, and then I fell in love with another woman, I won the Vietnam War, but mostly I just stopped giving a shit about humanity." God sighs. "Do I even need to ask how many people you've killed?" Blue God shrugs. live body and a dead body have the same number of particles, so it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter how I answer your question because I know you're sending me to hell. How do you know that? Asks God. And Blue God sounds very, very sad when he softly says, because I'm already there. And so, a mere piston in the inevitable machinery of time and space, God does what he did and what he will do. He snaps his finger. And the hero goes to hell. And so it's been a long day at the pearly gates. All the heroes have gone to hell. His work done, God's packing up to go home. And then he notices someone waiting. But it's not a hero, it's just a woman. Well, where did you come from? Asks God. Oh, I was standing behind those other guys the whole time. You just didn't see me. Did I give you a talent? God asks. Nope. None to speak of, says the woman. God gives her a good long look. I'm so sorry. I'm embarrassed. Seriously, this almost never happens. But I don't know who you are. And the woman looks at God and she quietly says, I'm the little girl who threw the brick in the air. Then a sound from above, something falling. The brick. God looks up, but it's too late. He never saw it coming. It hits him so hard, his brains shoot out his nose. Game over. He's dead. And where does God go when he dies? He goes to hell. Roll on snare drum. Curtains. Good joke.
All right, folks. The clip that you just heard was from Watchmen, episode 3. And it's a joke that Agent Lori Blake is telling Dr. Manhattan. And this joke is interspersed over the whole entire episode, introducing her. But I was listening to the joke. It's one of the most black pill jokes that you'll ever hear. Totally devoid of morality. Totally devoid of passion, plenty of irony. There is no right or wrong in this particular joke because she's using the example of the 3 most famous Watchmen, and one of them is anti-hero. All 3 are utilitarian in a sense. One is a narcissist, and basically all 3 were judged by God the exact same way. The joke was meant to say that heroes don't matter. That at the end of the day, going outside your lane, try to do something to force humanity to be better or whatever, doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be judged exactly the same way because, like I say, right and wrong doesn't matter. Whether you kill nobody or you kill 3 million or you kill even more or you pervert life, it doesn't really matter. Even if you're indifferent, it doesn't even matter. Take, for instance, the first person, Wu's Owl, who God gave the gift of inventing great inventions. And he used these great inventions to actually help humanity by conquering so-called evil. And God, for lack of a better term, Yahweh, calls him weak. Even though he didn't kill anybody, he didn't hurt anybody, he calls him weak. I remember I had this debate about Batman being dark pill or black pill and utilitarian, and how he's so different from everybody else because he didn't kill anybody. Same thing with Owl. He didn't kill anybody. But God sent Owl to hell anyway. because he wasn't forceful enough. The next one up was the genius, Adrian Veidt, who's also a utilitarian. He's trying to keep mankind from blowing each other up by introducing a pseudo-alien species. In order for humankind to know that the threat was real, he dropped a giant squid on New York, killing 3 million people. Now, previously, God said to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs. Adrian Veidt dropped the squid and broke 3 million eggs. Now, he was a narcissist, but also with a utilitarian bent, and God calls him a monster, rightfully so. And God sent him to hell. One for being too soft, one for being too hard, but he judged them the same. And the last superhero, which is Dr. Manhattan, who had godlike powers, and God asked him what he did. I created life on Mars. I ended wars. I walked on the sun. Yada, yada, yada. And God asked how many people did he kill? And Dr. Manhattan had the air of indifference. Even though he's utilitarian, he's indifferent. He knows there's no good or evil. He said it doesn't matter because living or dead, they have the same number of atoms. In other words, you can't really kill people because their vibration or their spirit is going to remain in the universe anyway, so there's no difference the way he sees the world. And knowing that this is black pill, and since Dr. Manhattan can see the future and the past all at once, he's indifferent to going to hell. The guy says, he says to God, you're going to send me to hell anyway. It doesn't matter what I say. God says, how do you know that? He said, because I'm already there. In other words, I'm already experiencing hell as we speak. And the black pill God does what the black pill God's going to do to the indifferent guy, snaps his fingers and sends him to hell. God judged all three the same. Even though all three had different stances on morality. One positive, one negative, so to speak, and one neutral. There is no right and wrong. At this level, there is no right and wrong. It's all utilitarian. And the thing that makes this such a black pill joke is that you notice that the girl who's raised by a master mason, get that, the brick mason, building perfection, passing down the legacy of the Masonic order to his daughter. And the one brick, I remember Watchmen is full of archetypes. Remember in Christ, they said the stone that was cast away became the cornerstone. Now the little girl took the orphan brick that her father, the master mason, miscounted so he wouldn't destroy the pit that he made into perfection with the bricks. He wouldn't destroy it over one brick. So she cast the orphan brick into the heavens. Got to remember, this is full of archetypes. That's why Watchmen, the first series, will be watched for a very, very long time, because they just throw bajillions of archetypes at you. It's not really meant to tell a story. It's meant to deliver archetypes. It's meant to deliver images. So she throws this orphan brick up into the sky, high as she could, so that it doesn't come down. So when God packs up to leave and he finds this unknown woman standing there waiting to be judged, he doesn't know her deeds. He doesn't know what she's there for. She's the hero that escaped. She's the hero that nobody knows about. She was unnoticed because the men before her, quote unquote, that had male privilege, she was actually ignored. So when he pays attention to her, he finally asks who she really is, because he doesn't recognize her. Not as a woman, because that little girl has a former life. And she says, I'm the little girl that threw the brick into the air. And as the brick comes down and smashes Yahweh in the head and kills the idea of God, God is judged, in a sense, by the woman that was ignored. And the brick that came down onto Yahweh's head became the cornerstone, which is a new religion, a new belief. And what does she say? Where does God go when God dies? He goes to hell with everybody else. In other words, there is no mercy, there is no morals, there is no exception for even God in this particular story. Nobody's morally right, nobody's morally wrong. And the mechanism is going to do what the mechanism is going to do anyway. And the little girl that's threw the brick was the one that actually brought judgment on God, saying that there's nobody in the universe that's above being judged. The rules are the same for everybody. Even though it's feminist, even though they're saying that God was judged by a woman that nobody saw coming. That's what she said. Didn't see it coming. Didn't know who the girl was. Didn't know that there was a brick in the air. God didn't know he was about to die until it was too late. Even the great architect, according to this joke, is a slave to reality, is a slave to his own order. What is the only rule or law that God cannot break? Is his own. Even God is subject to his own rules, or the rules of the universe. That's a little bit of a ramble, but when I first heard the joke, this is real black pill. And the whole series, all 9 episodes, are all black pill. Very, very dark, very, very reality based, very philosophically, I wouldn't say neutral, but I would say philosophically black. The abyss is always there for all the characters at all times. And all these characters dream of making their own blue pill world out of the abyss. But that is another story for another time. With that, I'm going to jump off of here. This is BGS out, and I will see you guys on the next one.